Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Right, customer wants the frame painted, but he likes things to look used. So I'm not going to rub any of the scratches and stuff down. I'm just going to give it a real light dusting, I think, with gloss black, and see what that looks like. Or he wants it to look sort of like an older restoration. So I'm just going to try just blowing some gloss black on it, but sort of from a distance, maybe just light blasts, and see what it comes out like, you know.
So if he's keeping it the same colour, why would he even paint it?
Well, like you said, we've come this far, we might as well do it, you know. But it's entirely up to him. He still wants it to look kind of old, so you can scuff it up a little bit with some Scotch Brite when it's painted or something like that.
So any tricks to making sure that when you're painting it doesn't look too good?
Not really, because the idea of painting is to make it look good, so
yeah.
It's just a bit of trial and error really, just play around with it, you know. A new seat post bush in it. Well, that'll do for that. Always try and use that. Gloss black engine enamel, it's really, well, it's not engine enamel, it's just tough paint, it's called. It's bloody good stuff. Bloody good stuff.
What's the difference between that and
this goes on heavily. It's a good coat, you know what I mean? Whereas you get your cheaper aerosols and it's just, there's no balls to it, you know what I mean? No meat to it. Yeah, I would say that's enough. See what I mean? It's not quite covering it, but it's just taking the real scabby bits off.
So what are you trying not to do?
Don't want to lag it on there really heavy, because as it dries it will thin as well.
Yeah.
So like where he's got some red there, just give it a little dust over, you know. And obviously this paint will go on dry because I'm at a distance and stuff, but when it flows out really well, this stuff. It'll then go back to not looking too lumpy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll be alright. It's just leaving a few little bits to grin through, you know. That's a stupid thing. If you're going to paint something, you should paint it properly, but it's what the guy wants, and that's what we have to work to, isn't it?
That's it.
Like you can see that just grinning through, you know. Just that little bit. I'll see what it looks like when it's all dried out, but I think that'll be alright. It's got that little bit of sheen to it, you know. I know it's a strange way of doing it, but customer's always right. I mean, all of this is covered. The only bits you really see is that and that and that. But you can see your bits grinning through, yeah, like I said. So it looks like it's been painted sort of a long time ago. This will dull down a bit as well when it's dried out. It's just grinning through a little bit. Because back in the day when they had a paint, I mean, if you do one of these properly, these should be cadmium plated, but back in the day they just painted everything. Didn't give a shit, they just paint over it, you know. I wouldn't do a lot more than that now. I'll just let it dry and see what it looks like.
Okay.
Because it sort of looks like it's been painted, but once that's dried out, it'll look like it's been painted a long long time ago, you know, which is what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, you see, I've lagged it on there properly, and that's all proper gloss when it's cleaned up. Obviously, you've got your shiny bits and your dull bits at the moment, but when that's dried out, it should all go a fairly uniform colour, you know, or sheen, I should say.
If you've got areas which are a bit too thick, is there anything you can do to bring it back a bit?
Well, if it looks too shiny, just a bit of really light Scotch-Brite and just give it a brush over with that.
Okay.
But realistically, if you start Scotch-Brite in it, you'll have to do the whole lot, because it would look like an ununiform pattern as such. Obviously, his bars, we might have to play around with them a little bit. So they're brand new, obviously. So wait until I get the dog bones and all the bits and pieces, and then I'll have to try and not go mad gloss, but just tone it down a little bit somehow. Yeah. But then again, they're quite a focal part of the bike when they're on, so probably won't look too bad in the nice gloss anyway. So.
Well, as you say, a lot of that frame is hidden anyway, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. That looks all right. And things like that, you see, where it's rough. Yes, it's been painted, but you see the paint reaction, because that's 2 different types of paint. So that's bubbling up a little bit. It's very hard to try and explain what you're trying to achieve, you know what I mean? I shall take another video of it and let Simon see. And just see what he thinks, you know?
But less is more, you can only build it up.
Yeah, that's right.
So how long will that take to dry then?
4 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the mat goes off straight away. The mat, because it hasn't got, I can't remember what they're called now, CFCs or something, the mat just sprays on and dries very, very quickly. But the gloss will stay sticky. You know, you wouldn't want to handle that much before in this temperature tomorrow morning, realistically.
So I've got to stand here for next...
Yeah, just stand there, you'll be alright. But obviously the front forks, which were chrome, I've got to clean all these up yet. So he wants those in black. I don't quite know how that's going to work out. They might look better in matte black, I don't know yet. Springs should be Parkerized, so we'll do them matte black like we have on that.
24 hours later.
Okay, so yesterday we gave it a coat of just a dusting over with the gloss paint to try and make it a bit like, looks like it's a bit of an older paint job. So obviously it's got a high sheen on it now, but all I do is just get a rag and just wipe it down with your hand, with a rag, whatever. It will just tone it down that little bit more, you know.
So you don't score it or...
No, just rub it down. You can see it there. Look, I'll rub my hand over it. Any sort of grease or oil or anything on your hands will just, which is often quite a lot with me, but it'll just tones it down that little bit more, you see.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, but just makes it look, and you can see where the paint's sort of left grinning through in places. Just makes it look like a used bike, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Which is what the customer's after. So yeah, just give it a...
If you rubbed it down with a rag, say you just washed it and cleaned it, it would shine back up again?
Oh yeah. All paintwork dulls down a bit, but I mean, from there upwards you don't see any of it anyway, so it'd be like your down tube you see. So just give it just a wipe down like that. Just try and take a little bit of the sheen off, that's all we're looking for, you know.
But it's turned out alright then?
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. Yeah, it looks sort of oldie-timey, you know, like it's been painted 20 years ago, which is what the sort of thing we're looking for, you know. Obviously I'll have to do it on the forks as well, because they're shiny at the moment, but they'll all come down. They're done in matte black, yeah?
Yeah.
They should be Parkerized, so what you can do is get a bit of WD-40, give it a wipe down with that, yeah? And then that'll just take, it would put a little bit of an oily sheen on it, you know? So, makes it, again, just look that little bit older. Leave that to dry off. See, that washer and that nut, they're original Parkerizing. Yeah? So just doing that, it just tones it down just that little bit, you know? Yeah, it's come out alright, yeah.